The impairment loss can affect the presentation of the amounts in the statement of financial position for the property, plant and equipment line item and the investment property line item. To consider this in more detail, a breakdown of the notes is provided. In this note, you will need to provide an indication of which asset it was that an impairment loss was recognized for. This is generally dealt by the column in which the amount is included. Then, during the period, you will show your movements for the period. As you are familiar with, depreciation is there as well now as the impairment loss, and you will need to indicate that this impairment loss was included in profit and loss, as it may be in other comprehensive income under the revaluation model. In the comparative period, we have indicated the movement as well then in the current period, again indicating that it's included in profit or loss or other comprehensive income. You will also note now in your balances, where previously are you familiar with the terms cost and accumulated depreciation, you now see that the line item includes accumulated depreciation and impairment losses. In the statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income, the impairment loss or reversal thereof can affect your cost of sales line item or your other expenses line item. Again, to look at the detail of this, we look at it in the profit before tax note. You will need to show if there is a reversal under the heading income, the reversal of the impairment loss. You'd need to indicate in this which line item this reversal was included in, along with the amount. And you would also need to specify which asset the reversal was on. As far as the expense impairment loss is concerned, a similar pattern is followed, again under the heading expenses, on which asset it was, in which line item it is included. There is then a narrative section provided to the profit before tax note, in which various details are given on the impairment loss or the reversal. You, for example, need to give the reason that led to the impairment loss. Was it a change in cash flows? Was it damage to the machinery, change in market conditions, etc.? You also need to give an indication of what the recoverable amount was based on. Was it value in use? Was it fair value less cost of disposal? And you will need to provide the amount that you used. There is also disclosure in terms of IFRS 13 required on the fair value. Remember too that if you have used value in use as your recoverable amount, you'll need to disclose the discount rate you used to discount your cash flows. Having considered the statement of financial position and the statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income, note that the impairment loss or the reversal thereof may affect the statement of changes in equity in the revaluation surplus column, or it could affect your statement of cash flows as being a non-cash flow item that may need to be adjusted for in your notes of the cash flow. As an example for the cash flow note, consider the following illustration. And you will note there it is, non-cash flow item, impairment on non-current assets. In the property, plant and equipment note, you will also note the adjustment for the impairment loss, that it's recognized in profit and loss, and the reversal of the impairment loss, again in profit and loss, or alternatively other comprehensive income. In this illustrative example, a separate note has been provided for the narrative disclosure, which we earlier provided in the profit before tax note. It could also be provided in the PPE note.